Hey there and welcome. We're always hearing about that one magic bullet for success, right? A new app, a life hack, some crazy morning routine. But what if I told you that true, lasting success, it's not a trick. It's actually a system you build from the ground up. That's what we're going to dig into today. We're going to unpack that whole system, piece by piece, using this really cool model called the performance pyramid.
So, let me ask you this. Ever feel like you're just spinning your wheels? You're busy, your calendar is a nightmare, you're bouncing from emails to meetings, but at the end of the day, you kind of slump back and think, what did I actually get done? Yeah, we've all been there. That feeling of just motion without any real progress, that's exactly what we're going to tackle.
And that's really the big idea here. We have to stop looking for that one single secret, that one shortcut. Instead, we need to start building a system, a whole framework for ourselves that connects our energy, what we do every day, and where we want to go in the long run. And that journey, well, it starts right now.
Okay, so to help us wrap our heads around this system, we're going to use a really powerful visual, the performance pyramid. Think about it just like a real pyramid, right? It's built in these layers, and the strength of the whole thing, well, it all comes down to how solid that base is.
So naturally, that's where we've got to start, with the base. Before you can even dream about managing your time or setting big goals, you have to nail the fundamentals. We're talking about your physical and mental energy. This is the fuel for literally everything else.
And look, this isn't just some feel-good wellness advice. This is backed by some serious research. A quote here from Salinas University makes it crystal clear. The link between what we eat, how much we sleep, and how well our brains actually work, that's not a guess. It's a significant correlation. That's academic speak for this is a really big deal.
And if you ever wondered why it's a big deal, just look at this list. This is what happens when we ignore that foundation. Sleep deprivation isn't just about feeling a little groggy. No way. It actively tanks your ability to think clearly, to manage your emotions, to make smart calls. You literally cannot be your best self if you're running on fumes.
And it's the exact same story with nutrition. Just check out this side-by-side comparison. On one hand, bad nutrition, you get cognitive impairment, fatigue, all the stuff that holds you back. But on the other side, with proper nutrition, boom, enhanced brain function, better focus, sharper memory. It's like the difference between trying to run your car on dirty, sludgy fuel versus premium.
Okay, so let's assume we've got our foundation sorted out. We're sleeping well, we're eating right, our engine is fueled up. Now let's build the next level of our pyramid. This is all about the tools for execution, the practical stuff you need to manage your day and actually get things done.
And the first tool in that toolbox, maybe the most critical one, is prioritization. It's not about doing more stuff. It's about doing the right stuff first. It's all about figuring out what really truly matters.
A really fantastic way to do this is with something called the Eisenhower Matrix. It's super simple but so powerful. It basically forces you to put every single task into one of 4 boxes. Is it important and urgent? You do it right now. Is it important but not urgent? Okay, you schedule it, you plan for it. Urgent but not that important? See if you can delegate it. And if it's neither important nor urgent, well, why is it even on your list? Just get rid of it. Eliminate it.
Here's another great one, the ABCDE method. It's so easy. Before you even start your day, you just go through your to-do list and label everything. A tasks, those are your absolute must-dos, your non-negotiables. B tasks are the should-dos, and so on all the way down. Just doing that simple ranking brings so much clarity to what can feel like a totally chaotic day.
But here's the thing about all these tools. They're only useful if you actually know where you're pointing them, right? You need to know what you're prioritizing for. I just love this metaphor here. Your daily tasks can feel like this big, chaotic, foggy sea. But your goals, they're like lighthouses, cutting through that fog and giving you a clear direction. So how do you build those lighthouses? Well, the best blueprint out there is the SMART framework. This is what turns vague wishes like, I want to be better at my job, into concrete, actionable targets. Your goals have to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. That's the recipe for a goal that you can actually hit.
And that right there brings us to the very top of our pyramid. We've got the fuel, we've got the tools, but now we need the master plan, the blueprint for your future. This is where we chart the course for the long haul.
This big picture blueprint, it's often called a personal development plan, or PDP for short. But don't let the name scare you. Just think of it as a strategic plan, but for you and your life. It's where you sit down and define what you really want, and then map out, step by step, how you're going to make it happen.
Because really, it all comes down to this one simple but massive question.
How do you get from where you are right now to where you truly want to be? A PDP forces you to hit pause on all the busy work and actually think strategically about your life's path. It's all about being intentional, not just reacting to whatever comes your way.
And this visual is, I think, a fantastic way to picture it. This space between who you are today and the person you want to become, that's called the learning gap. And your personal development plan, well, that's the bridge you're going to build to get across it.
So how do you build that bridge? Step one is figuring out exactly where you're starting from. You've got to ask yourself, where am I now? This means being really honest. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What resources do you have? What's holding you back? This is your starting point on the map.
Then you've got to define the destination. Where is the other side of that bridge? You have to ask, where do I want to be? And this is the really personal part. Is it a promotion, a new skill, just feeling more fulfilled? You have to get super clear on what success actually looks like to you.
And then, finally, you get to the how. How do I get there? This is where you take that huge, intimidating journey and you chop it up into manageable pieces. You set short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals that all connect. This is what makes that big dream feel, actually possible.
All right, let's zoom back out. We've looked at all the pieces. Now, let's put the whole pyramid back together and see how this creates a truly powerful, integrated system for success. And there it is, the whole thing in one shot. At the bottom, your foundation, fueling your brain with great sleep and nutrition. In the middle, your tools, mastering your time with things like prioritization and SMART goals. And at the very top, your blueprint, charting your course with a personal development plan. You see how it works? Each layer is totally dependent on the one below it. It's a complete system.
But here's a super important final point. This plan, your PDP, it is not a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's got to be a live document. I mean, think about it. Life changes, your priorities might shift, new opportunities pop up. Your plan has to be able to adapt with you. You've got to check in on it regularly to make sure it's still accurate, still relevant, and still realistic.
So, that leaves us with one last big question. Because this whole pyramid, it isn't just a cool theory, it's supposed to be a call to action. So I want you to look at these three layers, your physical foundation, your daily tools, and your long-term blueprint, and ask yourself, what is the one area you can start to improve right now, today? What's your very first step?